Hello and welcome to episode 120 of the Pixel Street Podcast. This is the podcast where each and every week, three fucking nerds get together and talk about video games. And man, do we have a lot to talk about this week. I'm Joel Campos, and with me, as always, is John Hansen. I don't have anything good for you.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow, okay.
It's just John Hansen.
Jeez, okay. Wow. Yeah.
I think he prefers progressively balding John Hansen.
Ooh.
That's his.
That's been the thing for a while. Yeah, we're fresh off of Next Gen Week.
Fresh off Next Gen Week. Also joining us is Connor. Not only is he not a cop, but he is also soon not a GameStop manager / employee.
This is true, and I'm not dead. I think that's arguably the most important thing here. I've been
you
relatively absent from. I did, yeah. That's.
I thought you were referring to GameStop not killing you.
No. I've just been absent for all of our content, and people might have wondered if I was dead. In which case, the joke's on you. I'm not. You stuck with me.
That's fine. We did just fine without you, didn't we, John?
Yeah.
I expected it. You guys are great. Save that compliment.
Yeah,
you won't get another.
Referring to the content from last week, go check out our YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, I guess you already see it. But our YouTube channel, we're looking to get more subscribers. We went up a bunch since we posted all that content last week. We have new unboxing videos of the Series X and the PS5. So go give those a watch. And this Halo statue, this Master Chief statue that's behind me here. That's at 174 views. I did not realize it got that many.
Holy shit, is it really?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. But yeah, definitely go check out our thing. We want to get that 100 subscribers so that we can, have our own custom URL and not
get
be
an actual URL.
YouTube.com/channel/UCIOV_OQA_LERAIPI6ZHC0F.
Just go to YouTube and search Pixel Street videos.
That's it. Yeah, search Pixel Street videos. Or type in everything that I just do. And if you do type in everything I just said, please send me a video of you doing so, because you are ridiculous. Also you can listen to us on Fridays on your podcast platform of choice. Oh, man. I think that's it. You guys want to talk about games? Oh, follow us
talk about some video games.
Follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street. We'll be posting some fleets there, because that's a thing now.
Don't say that. Please, can that just not be a fucking
John,
thing?
Are you this out of the loop? You don't know what a fleet is?
Are you kidding me?
You know Instagram stories?
I don't have Instagram.
Oh my god, you know Facebook
stories?
Yeah.
Do you remember MySpace?
Yeah.
No, I'm just messing with you. But it's basically Facebook stories on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
It's dumb.
Oh, is that what the new update is?
Yeah,
yes.
Probably.
With all the circles at the top and the
Okay. Yeah, it looks the same.
Go check out my fleets, guys.
I did see
fleets.
Shameless plug for you. I did see your one the other day about the dog carrying the absurdly large branch.
Oh, that's my dog, man. She does that every
That was
day.
fantastic.
I have another one.
Sneak
peek. I'll post another one. She tried bringing a stick into our apartment, and it would not fit through the gateway door, and she just she was mind fucked. She could not get this stick in. She didn't realize that if she just turned her head, she'd get it, but it was like
that's quality
just
content.
inches too wide. Nonetheless, send us dog pics in our Discord. You'll see our pinned tweet there to our Discord. So join there and send us your dog pics of your dog with really large sticks. Let's talk about video games, guys. Next gen, huh?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
We're here. We made it after all that
we're
waiting.
Now officially a week.
All right, let's go around. We're gonna describe next gen in one word. I'm gonna start.
Oh boy!
And I'm gonna say
hold up,
fast.
because I have very different, depending on which console we're talking about.
No, one word.
One
word, Connor.
Sure. Next gen as a whole. All right. Who's first?
Who's
Me?
going?
Connor, you go first.
I'm gonna cop out and take the easy one and say it's exciting.
You're gonna cop out. Nice
yeah,
one, dude.
Absolutely.
It's another Connor cop out.
What'd you say? Easy? What was
exciting?
Exciting. Okay.
Yeah.
John, what about you?
Expected.
Ooh,
Expected.
okay.
Everything came as expected.
Don't explain it. It's not fun that way. Joel.
I said mine is fast.
Fast? Oh, okay.
It
All
is
right.
fast.
I mean,
you're right.
Come on. That's basically, we all said the same thing essentially.
Yeah.
Pretty.
You're right. So which one of these do we want to hit first? Which one do we want to talk about?
Let's talk about Xbox first, and then we'll go into PS5.
Okay. Yeah.
What have you guys been playing on your Xbox Series X's? For reference, we all have the Series X. None of us have the S.
Correct. Yeah.
But yeah, John, what have you been playing?
All right. So the first few days, I played a ton of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, as you and I talked about in our first impressions video. Since then, I've played a little bit more. Played a little bit of NBA 2K21, but I'm not a big fan of it. Lately, I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War. Yeah, that's about all I've been playing on my Series X, really. I haven't, branched out a lot. I am way over on my data cap already, so a lot of my games I can't even update right now. Well, I could, but I don't want to because money.
Wait, so hold on. Your data cap, do you get charged by the gigabyte over?
I'm not sure what it is.
Because I was going to say at this point, you might as well just double down and just go all out if you're already over.
Just go ham for it.
Yeah.
Who's your ISP, John?
I need to look into it. They're called Mediacom.
Oh, okay. All right. So nothing huge. I've got Xfinity via Comcast, and I have the same shit. Anything over a terabyte, I'd get charged for every 10 gigabytes I use over top of it. It's absurd, and I hate it, and they can go fuck themselves.
My limit is 2 terabytes, and
jealous.
the last I checked, I'm... actually, fill some time and I'll actually tell you how much over I am
my
at
internet
the moment.
is RCN here in Chicago. I get gigabit download speeds, and I have no data cap, and I pay
I have gigabit
$55 a month.
So that's the bullshit thing. So I have gigabit service, right?
But it's not unlimited.
And it is unlimited. That they bill it as unlimited, which is fucking bullshit. Because then it's a terabyte cap, and then they it's a whole thing. But I pay. So you said you pay what, 55?
55 a month, and there's no data cap. But the downside is I have noticed that if it's a super busy weekend or something, my speeds are slower.
Yeah.
But still, I'm still getting 250 down. You know what I mean?
I pay $95 a month. $95 a month. Yeah, and it's
Dude,
about to go up because
that is a toxic relationship that you need to get out of.
I fucking hate Comcast. Don't get me started.
That's right. I'm right around that area too, Connor, with my bills.
It's a joke, man.
Yeah, my limit is 2,000 gigabytes a month. I am right now at 2,408. That's just from
updating and installing and
installing.
Well, here's the thing: is me and John
also
had talked about
uploading stuff
on our first impressions video on our YouTube channel, Pixel Street Videos. You can go watch that. But we were talking about how you could move your game over from your Series X, and then as soon as you try and launch, it's this game's got an update, and it's basically just downloading the whole game again.
Move it from the 1X over or an external hard drive.
Yeah, you can't even play the original version. No. You have to update it to play it.
It makes you.
I do though that is worth mentioning. I like how it automatically recognizes that there's a patch available for whatever the next gen version is, because obviously if I've got the Series X, I want the best version. I want that pretty fresh experience. So I do like that it automatically denotes that, as well as if you're inside of your games and apps, you can actually filter by optimize for Series X or S games. So you can look through all the stuff you have, find out what has updates, and then go through it that way, which is fantastic, and I appreciate it. But yes, the downloads are ridiculous. Still.
Yeah, absolutely. I gave a shout out in our first impressions to Assassin's Creed Valhalla being under 50 gigs, even with the updated version, which is still amazing to me. But everything else is just so huge, and I'm not looking forward to my my next bill, but that's pretty much what I've been playing. Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War, I've only played zombies. I've played about 7 hours of it. I really think it's a good mode, but on the Series X, there's definitely some issues with it. A guy in mine and Connor's friend group, Chris, his Series X just keeps getting shut off while he's playing it. That's happened to me. That's happened to me twice, where my console just shuts off.
It's happened to me 3 or 4 times. And 3 of them were last night. We were trying to.
So I have a copy of Cold War. sitting right next to me. It's installed, and I just will not touch it because that's all I've heard of anybody playing this game on the new systems is just constant issues and bugs and like stuff that it's a random game crash or something is fine. It's not fine. Obviously, I want that to be fixed or whatever, but the kind of stuff like you said that Chris is dealing with, it's literally consistently every single time he tries to get into zombies or anything, it just hard crashes his entire system, which is absurd to me.
You see, mine isn't every time, but I have had other bugs with it where I launched the game, I heard like the menu, sounds like the tick marks of me selecting up or down, all that stuff, background music. As soon as I loaded into a multiplayer game once, I just lost all audio. But I could still hear like my party chat. I was talking with Kenny. And I was still talking to him, but I just had zero audio the whole match, and I had to restart my system. Is this game X enhanced yet?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't.
Yeah, so
it doesn't show that emblem in your library.
It doesn't.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole fucking
Activision
thing.
handled this thing awfully.
Yeah.
So this is one of the games that you had to buy the cross-gen bundle to get both versions, which was like $10 extra, I think. I bought that. So I already had it installed on my hard drive for my Xbox One X because I was thinking, okay, I'll just move it over and update it with everything else. So I did the update and everything and found out that update wasn't the Series X enhanced thing. You have to go back onto the store and actually find the Series X version, which is like the only difference between the two that you can tell is one says like Series X at the very end of it. So it's like you have to like do a whole search for it and make sure it's not the thing you already have downloaded, and then you have to download the extra 100 gigabyte.
So are you saying I potentially have to go download a new version?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually one of the big issues that people have been encountering is if you are playing, because the base game is backwards compatible. The Xbox One version is backwards compatible. Obviously, most of the stuff is, and you can pop it in and play it. It will not upgrade. It will not automatically update or anything to the Series X version unless you bought the cross-gen bundle, which will give you not an upgrade, but a free copy of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Worst fucking name ever, by the way. On the next-gen system.
I'm so confused.
And it won't automatically download. You have to go
you have to manually go through that. If you didn't just buy the Series X version to begin with. Because there's one of those, too.
Hold on. Calm down. You guys are getting all hot and bothered here.
It's fucking Activision.
Because it's awful.
No, I agree
stupid.
it's awful. But my question is, so if I do not see that X/S enhanced logo in my library, I have to
It won't have that.
The game. It won't have
it. It doesn't have it.
Yeah,
it
not
won't tell you it.
Neither version.
Neither version. Yep.
Neither version has it.
Okay. So dumb.
To actually know what you got, you have to go into the filters and do the sort by console type.
Yeah.
Because the Xbox One version will be in the Xbox One version.
I will check that, and I will make sure my friends check that as well. Because one thing I noticed when I was playing another bug I ran into is like I hit a cutscene when I loaded zombies for the first time, and it was just super fucking pixelated and like gross looking, the whole cutscene. Like it just looked like it wasn't rendering properly.
Wow.
Yeah. But the one constant bug I've had every single game of zombies I've played, I've had this, is where all of the light in the area looks like I'm standing in like tree shade or something. Like the entire area looks shaded, and it happens every single game for me. And it's not like game breaking or anything. It's just I notice it every time. Like I'll just be walking along, then all the light in the area will look like it's shaded.
Are you sure that the game just doesn't fucking suck? And
it doesn't suck.
That's the answer.
It doesn't suck.
I've heard the zombies is good. I do want to touch my copy.
Good.
I want to get into it. I've heard the campaign's also fantastic, but until they iron out some of this bullshit.
I've only touched zombies, and that's pretty much all I wanted that game for anyway.
I tried a few rounds of zombies, and I will say that I enjoyed it a lot more than when I tried. So I played like the OG zombies in World at War. And then I tried like the Black Ops 3 zombies, and that zombies was so fucking confusing. I didn't know what was going on. I like joined my friend. He's like, yeah, we got to go get these gumball things, and then we got to go open this to do that. But I don't know. I feel like this zombies in Cold War, I think, is a lot more basic, I want to say. Like, it's a lot more simple than the Black Ops 3 one I tried.
the head of Zombies, he left after Black Ops 4. And yeah, the thing with him is that he was always very cryptic about everything. He was always like trying to make things more complicated and everything and get the community guessing at stuff and everything. Well, he carried that over into like mechanics and everything, just always like making the game just more complicated than it really needed to be. This new team, I don't know who's running it or anything, but they've definitely walked back and they've definitely streamlined it a lot more so more people can get into it, which is good. There's definitely a lot of good changes that they've made with this map. There are a few things where I'm like, okay, they've kind of lost the personality of Zombies a bit, but overall, I am very happy with what they've done with the Zombies.
Yeah, we should definitely do a Let's Play of Zombies with the three of us and one other person. So, you guys can kind of teach me what it's all about. I know nothing. I was just running around shooting shit, opening doors when I could. I honestly don't know what the end. Like,
that's pretty much all you need to do.
Yeah, that's you got to describe the entire experience there.
But yeah, I played a few multiplayer matches, and it feels just like Modern Warfare in a way. So I enjoy it for what it is. I don't know. I didn't get
what a
too
surprise,
into Modern Warfare. Yeah. It's Call of Duty, man.
Call of Duty game feels like another Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Connor, what have you been playing?
So I've been pretty boring on my Xbox. The only thing that I've played for any kind of lengthy amount of time has been Destiny 2. I've been jumping into the Beyond Light DLC, playing with that stuff, and DLC's good. I'm happy to report. It's honestly one of the best steps Destiny's had in a while, which is cool because I think they've been lacking that sort of oomph that propelled them through some of the early stuff. There is a surprising lack of weapons, which kind of sucks. But the strike, story content, all that stuff's fun. And they're also kind of drip feeding the content, which I think is the smart way to go, instead of just kind of bum rushing everything out in one release and then people run through it and there's nothing else to do. So if you haven't checked that out, I would definitely recommend it. The Series X enhancement for that, unfortunately, doesn't launch until, I think, December 4th or 6th. So there's still a bit of a wait on that. But regardless, man, that game runs really well on Series X. Load times are very crisp, very snappy. I've had few to no issues whatsoever in terms of performance. I don't think I've noticed any kind of frame drops or anything, which even Destiny 2 on the Xbox One X, I was having frame drops in some of the more intensive areas. However, on my Series X, I have had just a very smooth, easy experience. Joining people has been very easy. They did a lot of behind-the-scenes work for Destiny 2 with this DLC that I think probably paved the way for a lot of it. For instance, you no longer have to go to orbit whenever you leave or join a fire team. If they're on the same destination, it'll just throw you in their instance instead, which it's wild to think that wasn't a thing already on the Series or the Xbox period. But yeah, in terms of Series X play, man, this console is really something else. I did boot up a few other games like Forza Horizon 4 and play a little bit of that, and that's gorgeous. Again, very crisp, snappy load times, in and out of stuff in an instant. I did launch a bunch of stuff to give a shot to the quick resume function, which, again, fantastic, easy to use. That's where you can get in and out of multiple games, and it kind of saves your game state as opposed to you having to relaunch it every time. It does suck that it's not necessarily compatible with all games due to the nature of some stuff. So like Destiny 2 doesn't really support the quick resume function because it's an online game and it requires that online connection.
On single player games, though, it is amazing.
Yeah, on the single player stuff, it's like, man, it's hard to even describe the feeling of it.
It's my favorite thing on Valhalla. Like, yeah. I'll be done for the night. I'll hop off, turn off my Xbox. I'll go to YouTube, do whatever I want, come back days later.
And you're right back into it.
Okay, you know what? I'm right back there. Mm-hmm. It pulls up the little tile thing that's up there for like maybe 3 seconds, and then I'm exactly where I left off. Like, that is so amazing.
A few weeks ago, I talked about trying out the console streaming stuff with my Xbox One X. I did boot that up on my Series X and give that a shot too from my mobile device, and it is even better and much faster on the Series X. which I found to be relatively surprising. I wasn't expecting any kind of improvement or anything with that functionality specifically, but with the crisp, snappy load times, it seems like they've really worked out some kinks with the wireless connections. It was a much better experience than I had with my One X, and that was already a really solid experience as well. So, yeah, it's great, man. Installs, holy shit. Installs go real fast, which is cool, unless you're downloading stuff from the internet, obviously. Did you guys do any moving from like external hard drives to your Series X at all?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
moved like a whole shit ton of games because I bought that Seagate additional drive as well. So
Sure.
I
Yeah.
moved like probably most of my library I had installed on my One X over.
Did you realize how fast that was when it was happening?
I
Like
mean,
how quick? I don't know if you'd ever done it before.
So while I had that going, I was editing my unboxing video, so that took me a while. So I
Sure.
wasn't really paying attention to it. But one thing I did notice is that first day, like, I don't know how many, like the first few days, I think my Xbox would not download stuff from the internet if it was in idle mode. Like if I turned it off. For whatever reason, it would not download anything. And I'm not the only one that had that problem. I know multiple people who have. So that was I don't know if they fixed that or not. I think they did, because when I downloaded Call of Duty a few days ago, I think it downloaded when I had it off. But yeah, I don't know. Like the hard drive, yeah, super fast. To kind of talk about what I've been playing kind of both of what you have. I played a lot of Destiny. I beat the story in that DLC. I think it's really good.
It's real good.
The load times are insane. Like when you fast travel to a different location
Yeah.
on the same planet you're on, it's almost instant. Like if you went to go pick up your phone to like check a text, you're going to be loaded in before you can even unlock your phone with like facial recognition.
You don't have time. Yeah.
Yeah. So fast. And then I don't know. Like that, I don't know. I can't wait until that next gen upgrade comes, because I can't wait to play it in, 60 FPS. It's going to be a huge game changer for a game like that. And then 120 FPS in the Crucible, that's going to be cool as well. But yeah, moving on to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I haven't played, I guess, if you look at the length of the game, I haven't played that much, but I've played probably close to 10 hours of it. And like that locked 60 FPS in that game, oh man, it is great. I don't know how to describe it, like, because I'm like, yeah, I play games on my PC, but I'd say 90% of the games I play are on my Xbox or on PS5 or Xbox or PlayStation. So yeah, having that experience on a console, like where you can kind of assume that every game's going to be locked at 60 FPS going here on out, that's going to be great, because Valhalla feels so nice at 60 FPS. It almost feels cartoon-like, having, I think just earlier this year I played through Odyssey, and that was probably 30 FPS the whole game. So yeah, I'm really excited for, these higher FPS games in, this next gen. But yeah, I mean, I haven't really tested Quick Resume that much, because like I said, most of what I've been playing is Assassin's Creed and Destiny. So with having played Destiny, you can't really Quick Resume there. So, but yeah, I definitely got to try some of that stuff out. I did launch Gears Tactics, and it carried my save over from PC. So I was able just to pick up right where I left off.
Yeah.
I'm like in the last act. But
It's a play anywhere game.
Yeah, but that game is still buggy. Like I had bugs with it. Like I had problems on my PC, and I still have problems on my Xbox. Like I launched I launched the first mission I was on. I got like 2/3, 3/4 of the way through the mission, and it just froze. Like I couldn't do anything. The whole game just froze. I was like, all right, I'm force quitting this. Maybe I'll revisit it later. But that's a game I feel like really benefits playing with a mouse and keyboard anyway. I just wanted to test it on the Series X to see how it played. But yeah, I think that's about all I've played on my Series X so far. I guess let's get into the PS5. I mean, it sounds like we've played a lot of games on there. So, John, what have you been
before we
playing
do that, just for like our like final like review thing for Xbox Series X, like any like final things we gotta say as for the console, because like I said before, I even said this at during our first impression videos, it's the Xbox One X.2, and that's fine. That's really all I wanted out of it. It's exactly what I expected. It's faster, more powerful. It's not really exciting, I don't think, but it's really nice to have.
I think one of the big things with this generation of consoles is that we're really not going to see the benefit of this launch for another year or so. You know, when we can really start getting rid of support for those older generation consoles, where we can get developers comfortable with these tools and these options that they now have that they didn't necessarily have on console before. I think it's going to be a kind of wait and see for a lot of that stuff. So that said, obviously we're going to talk about it when we get to PlayStation, but I have had a very easy, nonsensical, no bullshit experience with my Xbox, and I appreciate the hell out of that. Transferring things over was wildly easy. Getting my account set up, wildly easy. My saves, again, wildly easy. Like, it's all stuff that I just didn't have to think about. Yeah, it's all
automatic.
It's a curated experience. It's very much like the Apple thing, where things just work, you know, and you don't really have to put thought into it. And I think there's a lot of value in that for me and for other consumers to think about when considering this new generational upgrade. And that's probably my favorite thing about what Xbox has to offer, is just that should you make the jump, not that you necessarily have to right now, but should you make the jump to the Series X, it's just easy. You just don't have to think about it. And yeah, you just keep doing what you're doing, which is awesome. And major kudos to those guys for pulling that off, because it's a very good thing for them to have done. So yeah, Xbox, great job. Thank you.
Yeah.
I might think it's more exciting if I had Halo Infinite right now.
For sure. In my eyes, it feels just like a much more powerful Xbox One X. That's all it is, honestly. Because like
currently,
you guys were saying, like, the dashboard is exactly the same. It's the same dashboard you had on the One X and the Xbox One. So I just feel like this is how they intended for it to run, was on the Series X, because of how much quicker the hard drive is and everything. So yeah, I don't know. Like John said, it's the Xbox Point 2. I think that makes perfect sense. It just doesn't have that next gen feel. You know what I mean? It's not that drastic of a change in terms of, like, you know, hardware or, you know, like UI stuff, like controller hardware, I mean, or UI stuff like that. It's all just, you know, internal hardware stuff that is the most next gen part about it. And, you know, for some people that's probably not as exciting as how drastic the PS5 changes. So yeah, with that, let's just talk about what we've been playing on PS5. John, we'll let you start.
All right, yeah. So the PS5, I mean, besides my little stand fiasco I had that we talked about on the first impressions,
Connor, did you see that?
I've had no.
No, I didn't.
I didn't realize that.
So John did.
I didn't realize that the stand screwed into the console.
So he just had it sitting there.
Yeah.
So he just had it sitting there. He's like, yeah, this thing is just super wobbly. He's like, I hate it.
So I was thinking, I was looking at it a lot like the Nintendo Switch dock. You know how like wobbly that thing is. I was like, oh, okay, is it just like that? So I was like, okay, whatever. But then I found Joel taught me my ways, and I've got it screwed in now, which is really nice. But as for the console itself, I've got the digital edition, and I really like it. I have had absolutely no issues at all with it. I've only played 2 games on it so far, Astro's Playroom, which I have played a ton of, and I absolutely love it. It is amazing, and I love everything about it. And then Sackboy's Big Adventure, Grand Adventure, something like that. That game I was really excited for as well. I'm a little let down in it. It's not bad by any means. It's just, it's fine. I really was hoping for more out of it, being such a 3D adventure fan that I am. I'd probably like it more if I had my daughter here playing it with me, because you can do the 4-player co-op. So I want to really like hold off on like saying it's not that great until I actually get a chance to play the co-op. But yeah, just playing it solo it reminds me a lot of like Yoshi's Crafted World on the Switch, where it wasn't bad by any means, but it just couldn't
really hold my
interest. Yeah. So yeah, it's good. I don't know if I would pay $60 for it. Seeing that I got a code for it, I'm fine with that. But yeah, I if you have a kid, definitely grab it. It's a brilliant game for a kid. But if you're like looking for a game for yourself, maybe not so much.
Is this just another knack?
I never played Knack, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, neither have I.
Sure.
I don't. From what I've heard, I don't think it's that bad.
Okay.
It's just it's a good game, but I kind of wish I was playing Spider-Man instead at the moment.
Is that all you've been playing, really?
Yeah, just I mean, I could talk about Astro's Playroom some more, like how amazing that game is with its controller stuff, and I think the whole like layout of Astro's Playroom just as a platformer game is set up much better than Sackboy. And then you add in like all the references to PlayStation's past and everything, and all the fan service that they throw into that free game that is just included on your console when you get it. I think Astro's Playroom is just far and away a more special game than Sackboy is.
Yeah, I think what they did with Astro's Playroom is amazing, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like probably the best pack-in game ever, I would argue. Because it's so good.
It's up there with Wii Sports.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Nothing's ever going to beat Wii Sports.
That and Wii Sports. I mean, for displaying what each controller can do, like they both hit it out of the park. Like it's so good.
Yeah, I actually platinumed Astro's Playroom last night. So
nice.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for whatever they go with that IP in the future. Because the VR game was a lot of fun as well.
I think I did see that the developer said that more Astro is on the way. So who knows what that means?
Yeah.
But
yeah. Connor, what have you been playing on your PlayStation 5?
Sure. So I've got some gripes about some PlayStation stuff. It's interesting to hear John talk about having a pretty flawless experience. I also have the PlayStation 5 digital. The game I've spent most time in is Spider-Man Miles Morales. I'm pretty close to done with that. I'm probably going to beat that in the next day or so, just depending on my free time. And man, if I could sum up the PlayStation 5 experience that I've had so far in one word, that word would be frustrating. I feel like everything I do with this thing is just created or has more of an issue attached to it than it should. Like the UI, for instance. I hate the UI on the PlayStation 5. I think it is just everything's buried between too many layers. It isn't really a good iteration of the PlayStation UI. Like I think the PlayStation 4 UI was fantastic and a large step forward for them. And I feel like the PlayStation 5 UI is a very large step back. There's no folders in it anymore, which I think is maybe one of the dumbest moves they could have made, period. Granted, it's not that large of an issue right now, being that there's not a lot of content or games out for the system. But over time, it's just going to be the same problem we had on the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4, with a million icons stacked up in a row that make no sense and are hard to navigate. I hate that the fucking home menu's down at the bottom. That's weird, and I'm not in love with that. And the fact that they changed the power button or the PlayStation button from like a hold to a press, like it's just all weird stuff. Maybe it's a lot of preferential nonsense, but it's made it largely frustrating. I had a hard time too with my saves, getting my saves for my PS4. I don't pay for PlayStation Plus because I play my Xbox more, and my PlayStation is my single player machine. So cloud saves weren't an option for me. And even if I had cloud saves, you kind of have to manually upload those still, which Xbox, to bring it back to a comparison.
And you have to subscribe to PSN to do it.
Right. Which is silly. Xbox just gives you that stuff and does it all automatically. You don't have to worry about it. So on PlayStation, I had to manually put them on another drive, which was a whole thing too, because as soon as I plugged the drive in, it's like, hey, we need to format this, which I expected. That's fine. But then there's two format options. And I had to do some digging inside of some PlayStation FAQs to even figure out which format I had to go to be able to move my saves over onto this external drive, which I finally figured out after way too much work. Got my PlayStation 5, plugged the drive in, and it says, hey, we need to format this. Obviously, I don't want to do that. I don't want to format it because that's where my saves are. So I have to do a bunch of digging, find out that you can't actually access saves via the storage device. You have to click save data and go through a whole different menu just to get to the saves on an external drive and then transport them to your PlayStation 5. It was the dumbest, most ridiculous experience I've had with this thing, and it really just put a bad taste in my mouth for this whole thing right from the get, which sucked. That aside, playing games, Miles Morales, I've probably got 10 or so hours, maybe a few more in so far, and that game's gorgeous. Or either you guys, John, you said you weren't playing it, but Joel, are you playing Miles Morales at all?
Yeah, I beat the game and I'm working towards the platinum now.
So you'll kind of
I'm gonna play it once I can download again.
Sure, yeah, that's fair. It's gorgeous. It's honestly a fantastic iteration on the first Spider-Man, and I think story-wise it's very good. That's where the good things I have to say about this game end, unfortunately, because it has been a buggy, nightmarish experience just to be able to play this game. It has crashed my PlayStation twice now, to the point where it literally just freezes up, hard locks, and I have to manually stand up and go turn my PlayStation off just to get it to turn off. I can't use the controller. It doesn't just crash the game and go to the system menu or anything. Like, it crashes my entire system, and it's just during like cutscenes or regular gameplay. That's in addition to all of the other issues I've had where my character, Miles Morales, will either just stop talking entirely, but everything else will work appropriately. So like, I'll go into a dialogue section with another character, and that character will say something, the subtitles will pop up, everything will work as intended. But anytime Miles is supposed to speak, no audio plays, no subtitles, no nothing. It's just not there. And it's happened to me multiple times now, and in order for that to correct itself, I have to quit my entire game and launch back into it. Thankfully, the load times are very quick, and the actual saves themselves and checkpointing systems are fantastic in Miles Morales, and I only lose 30 seconds of progress at most. But that's happened to me a bunch. I also had another one where your sidekick calls you, and it's during like a phone call interaction. Well, when the phone call ends, it's supposed to end the phone call and take the UI elements off of your screen. It doesn't do that, so it just thinks I'm in a phone call the whole time. I can't interact with items. I can't start missions or anything because it thinks I'm in this unskippable cutscene that I have no control over, so I have to relaunch my game. I've probably quit and relaunched my Spider-Man Miles Morales like 7 times now just to actually get it working again. That might not be terribly frustrating, and I might not be so mad about it if we weren't at the point where this is like a 15-hour game, you know? So it's like majority of my experience is just this fucking up and doing things. I really hope that they work some of these kinks out, and I'm sure obviously they will over time. But for
we're talking about
this,
I'm sure it will be fine.
Right. I'm sure they're going to do a great job with it. But for me to have this many issues out of the box with both the console and this game, it has made me honestly not even want to touch my PlayStation and just continue playing my Xbox, because I've had none of these issues whatsoever. Nothing even close to this with my Xbox, whereas it seems like nonstop I've had these issues. I did play some Astro's Playroom, and I totally agree. That controller's fucking incredible, man. Like, the feature set on it's great. That game is really cool. It's honestly got me hooked, and I want to play more of it. I do wish the checkpoint system didn't suck so much in it, because anytime I die, I lose all the coins that I've picked up, and that's stupid. And in a game where I want to collect everything, it just makes it that much more frustrating. But aside from
honestly,
that, it is a cool experience.
Real quick though, Connor, I'm going to tell you, the coins, don't worry about them. Like,
sure,
you will have
so that's
plenty.
what I've heard, but it's still not a good feeling.
The puzzle pieces
you
and
know?
the artifacts, they save the moment you grab them.
Yeah.
The coins don't matter.
It's still enough to make me frustrated about it though, because
I got you.
I just want it to work. I just wanted to do things, and it's just it's
I
frustrating.
definitely
enough.
recommend putting more time in the Astros until you beat it. Like
that's kind of
there-
my game plan, is jumping back into there, giving that some more time, because I think it's definitely worth it. It's easy to write that experience off as a pack-in and be like, oh, don't touch this, don't play this. It's not worth it. It's bloatware or whatever you want to call it. But I totally disagree with that sentiment. That game is
very much
fan-fucking-tastic.
a quality title.
Yeah, they put a lot of time and effort into that. The models that you get, the like
Oh my
artifacts
God,
or
the fucking
whatever,
models, they're
Ugh.
so like detailed
Yeah.
and everything, and like once you collect them and put them into your, well, it's called the PlayStation Labo.
Mhm.
And
It's got to be a
just
trademark
shows
issue
all
there.
of your,
I'm telling you.
absolutely. It's got all your stuff there that you've collected. You can like go up to it and interact with it. Like the PS2, you can go behind it and punch it on and off. You can open the disc tray and everything on everything. It's so cool. Everything
It's fantastic.
that they've done in that game.
Yeah, they really knocked it out of the park for that. Those are really the only two titles that I've spent any time in. I do have Call of Duty for my PlayStation. And I did recently get a copy of Crash 4 for PlayStation as well, that I'm hoping to jump into here pretty soon. But yeah, aside from that, it's mostly been a frustrating experience on my PlayStation, which is a bummer. I'm sure, again, it's stuff that they're going to work out over time. But for it to be this consistent, it really makes me question whether or not a lot of this was just rushed out, ahead of time, and probably could have benefited from some sort of delay or, just final pass on that architecture, because it is frustrating enough for me to want to put it down. I did want to ask you guys something on the controller. Did your guys' controller die really quick too? Like within a day or two of play, it was already dead?
Nope.
Okay,
I plug
right
mine
on.
in when I'm done with it every day. So
Oh, you're
I don't
weird.
plug mine in, and that's not
Yeah,
good.
that's
that's
that's questionable.
really not good. I've only plugged mine in once since
Okay.
since I opened it. Other than that, nah, it's got a pretty good life up to this point.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe it was just a fluke for me, but it seemed like, because I charged it as soon as I got it, and it just seemed like it died relatively quick. Like a lot quicker than I would expect for a controller like that. So, but yeah, that's PlayStation so far. Obviously, I'm going to keep playing it. I'm going to keep doing things with it. Miles Morales, incredible game. Please play it if you get a chance to. Real cool experience there. But yeah, I mean that's where it's at right now. Frustrating. Yeah.
for me,
Before we get to Joel, I will do a quick shout out to our PS5 first impression video where me and Joel did go into the UI issues and everything. I'm not going to go through everything that we talked about here, but definitely check that out, because we definitely went into some of the same issues that Connor had with that.
yeah, for me, I'll start with just by talking about the UI and the console itself. The UI, I'm not that big of a fan. It very much feels like a starting point for them. It doesn't feel like a final product, if that makes any sense.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
It's very bare bones. Like, it doesn't feel complete to me.
I think we called it like simplistic to a fault when we
Yeah,
first talked about it.
something like that. But yeah, so that's how I feel about the UI. And I feel like they changed it too drastically from the PS4 to the point to where the first time I was trying to turn my PS5 off, I literally could not figure out how to do it, because I was sitting there holding the PS button, like expecting it to ask me if I wanted to rest or shut it down. It took me a while to figure it out, a solid 5-10 minutes.
But you just have to tap it.
Yeah, and then go all the way to the right on that screen.
See, I don't know if it's just because I put so much more time into my Xbox, but I got used to that really quick because I'm used to just tapping it on Xbox and then having my guide come up.
I think a lot of it points to the difference in design philosophy between the two companies. Xbox has been on this kick of generations are dead. It's just Xbox moving forward. Our focus is just easy compatibility. You don't have to question it. It just works. And I respect that. Whereas the Sony side of it, like, they want this to be a generational, break. Like, PS4's done. We're on to the PS5. This is the next gen, so on and so forth. And I appreciate that. However, man, it could have been handled in a way better way, because the Xbox side has spoiled me. Being able to just log into my account and all of my shit's there, I don't have to do any setup, was the nicest, greatest experience for setting up something that I've ever had. Whereas on PlayStation, like, they went to the point of everything has to be new, but I don't think they had to do that. The PlayStation 4 was fan-fucking-tastic. They didn't have to reinvent the wheel here, but they tried and they failed, in my opinion.
Yeah, so the UI, I'm not a huge fan of it right now. I have a feeling that it's going to look drastically different the next year or two. But in terms of the hardware itself, you know, it feels just as fast as the Xbox Series X. I know, like, everybody's putting those tests out, and technically the Series X is faster load times and everything, but I mean,
it's not by much.
Yeah, it's by a few seconds at max, so it's going to feel essentially the same when it comes to speed. I will say that I had my PlayStation 5 in rest mode, and when it's in rest mode, it has the red lights on it on both sides in the middle there. And when I went to go play it the next day, I realized those lights were off. And so I was like, oh shit, like what happened? Like, did it get unplugged? I checked, it wasn't unplugged. So I turned it on, and it said that it had lost power. Like, it had a warning on it, like it was super low res, saying like, oh, your PS5 has been disconnected from electricity or whatever it said. And I looked this up, and apparently this is a common problem where people are having, where their PS5, is shutting off, and then when it turns back on, it's like, oh, you lost power, essentially. And so I don't know if that's like a failsafe of, like, if it's gonna overheat or something, it just kind of like cuts the power. I don't know what it does.
Well, with the PS4, there was a very common issue if you would turn it off without letting it do its full shutdown, or if you unplugged it, that the hard drive would just completely fuck up and everything. I don't know how many times I had to deal with that at GameStop and Disc Replay. But I would hope that they put in a failsafe or something in the PS5 for that. I don't know. I just do a full shutdown every time.
That's essentially the message I got. It was saying, like, you did not turn your hardware off properly. It's like running through like some safe mode type thing.
Yeah, and then it has to recompile the database.
Yeah. And so that happened to me. Like, it was literally in rest mode overnight, and then like the next evening I went to play, and it just had that error, and I was like, oh fuck, do I have one of the broken ones that I've been seeing online? There are people having that. But to go into the games I played, you know, I platinumed Astro's Playroom. I beat Miles Morales. I love the game, and I think it's really interesting, Connor, that you had all those issues, because I have had one issue the whole time I played it, and I've put maybe 15 to 20 hours into it.
Wow.
And the only issue I had was the first time I loaded it up, I had that issue you had where Miles had no audio and no captions at the bottom. And that was just for the intro cutscene, the point where I just closed the game, and when I rebooted it, I had no issues. And like, I sat there and played it for like 5-6 hours at a time. So like, I don't know what's going on with this, because like, for reference, I have the disc version of the console. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it at all. You know, who knows?
But you're playing the download.
Yeah, exactly. I'm playing the download. But either way, it's like just weird. Like, they did not optimize these games for these upgraded consoles as well as you would have expected them to. That, like, that's kind of similar with like Black Ops. Like, I'm sure if you played Black Ops on the One X, you're not gonna have most of these issues we're having with it on the Series X, where it's just like turning off your console and stuff. So I feel like they just really rushed out saying like, oh yeah, it's optimized for these consoles, and really it's not.
Well, let's not forget that there's been a pandemic for almost this entire year, and that's definitely affected. Yeah. So, and we always see bugs and glitches at launch anymore with any big release. So I'm really not. I don't think things are too terrible. My favorite glitch I've seen, though, with Miles Morales, I've seen it a lot, and not just the trash can, but the player model being swapped out with just a trash can, anything. A pile of snow, a brick,
a house.
It's just just anything. That is by far my favorite.
What
glitch
causes
right
that? Now. What does that? I've seen that all over.
I haven't looked, but I've definitely
is there
seen
like a mission
lot
or
of
something that you play as something other than Miles Morales?
Oh, no, I think it's actually just a random glitch,
straight fucking bug. Oh my god.
Yeah, and the fact that something like that didn't get caught in QA is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
like they have to be aware of that already. But But yeah, that's
Gosh.
basically what I played. I also did play today
Keep it
during
in.
lunch. I played My Name is Mayo 2. I platinumed that game.
Okay, that's why that's why it's my app said that it was ready to start. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I bought that game. It was 99 cents, and all you gotta do is tap
Oh,
X.
you're just going for the cheap platinums, aren't you?
Hold on, but it goes even deeper. Yesterday,
Oh, boy.
I bought My Name is Mayo 1 on my Vita, and I platinumed there yesterday.
He even still
And
has a
then-
Vita.
Hold on, and then also today, I platinumed it on the PS4 Pro. So thank you very much. Those are my 3 platinums.
I never want to
past
hear
2 days.
any shit from you ever again about me being an achievement whore.
Hey man, I do what I gotta do, to get those.
You busted out the
trophies.
Vita for a platinum. Don't
The
you feel
fucking
dirty?
Vita.
I don't feel dirty
Like,
at all. The Vita
you should.
is highly underrated.
The Vita.
The,
It
the
likes to have
Vita,
its
the
back
Vita
rubbed.
died so the Switch could live. All right.
Sure, okay.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No.
No,
Definitely.
The
I'll
Wii U
take
died
that.
so the Switch could live.
Yeah. Well, sure, that too. Yeah, you're right. Ugh.
But yeah, those are kind of our week 1 thoughts, I guess, of both consoles. We're gonna be playing a lot more stuff in the coming weeks and months. So
I'm unemployed
I mean,
soon, so I'm gonna
it
be
can
playing
only-
a lot.
it's all uphill from here, right? Like you got to imagine we're not gonna
Yeah,
come back.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we're not gonna come back next.
We have
week and be like,
Cyberpunk coming out hopefully in a few weeks here.
yeah, you get.
So that will be a big one.
I don't see a situation where we come back next week like, oh man, can't believe 5 million Xbox Series X is fucking bricked because of that update they tried
no.
pushing on.
No, don't Red Ring of Death
Red
me
Ring
again.
of Death.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we also got to mention the vape smoke in the Series X. People blowing vape smoke.
Oh, we've
into
mentioned
it.
that before, but yeah.
And then turning it on.
What a
Fucking
stupid
hilarious.
thing.
Hilarious.
Did you see them? Did you see Xbox tweet? They're like, we can't believe we have to say this, but please don't put vape
Yeah.
stuff, vape juice in your.
Their
Xbox
Twitter's been
Series
on a
X.
tear, man. They have
For
been
sure.
like memeing up a storm. I love
I
it.
absolutely love it.
Yeah. But yeah, let's move on to, I guess, kind of the only news. Well, I do have some news. Far Cry 6. Far Cry 6? Is that the one coming out?
That's the one, yeah.
Far Cry 6 is now coming out May 25th, 2021. So they just announced
they
a new
announced
release
it.
Oh, they gave a date.
Okay.
I knew that they delayed it a few weeks ago. I didn't know that they
Yeah.
actually gave it a date.
Yeah, they just gave it a date just now. I just saw it on Twitter, so.
Oh, just now. Okay.
Cool. Right on.
Other than
Breaking
that,
news.
let's go over
Breaking news.
the Game
that
Awards
you'll see 2
nominees.
days later.
the Game Awards nominees. Let's view these categories. We don't have to go through every one.
No,
Just the
yeah,
big
no.
ones,
I
yeah.
was definitely thinking we'll probably do our
predictions.
predictions later. We don't have time for that today.
I just
But
want to
think-
say, looking at this, so I'm scrolling down this page, and the first like 5 categories are like the same 5 games
yeah.
in this. Like all of the list is basically the same 20 games. What the fuck?
Yeah, so let's just start
Yeah.
at the top and go down. Start with the big one. Game of the Year.
Game of the year.
Oh man,
So,
yeah.
hold on. My site is loading. So the Game of the Year nominees are Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Animal Crossing New Horizons, and The Last of Us Part 2. I want to start by saying
Yeah.
I don't think Doom Eternal should be in this list, personally.
So what?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that.
Yeah. Well, my whole thing. What is missing though?
Jedi
Is there
Fallen
anything
Order.
that you cut out there? What?
Jedi Fallen Order, I think, should be on this list.
That was last year,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
No,
No, it is eligible for this year.
yeah, it was not.
Oh,
eligible
because it
last
was
year.
post last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I
Hell,
think that game
Jedi
should have been
Fallen
on this
Order.
list. Yeah, Jedi Fallen
I don't
Order.
know.
But
I love Doom Eternal, but
I don't know.
I definitely don't think Doom Eternal's gonna win. But I think it deserves a spot on here.
Personally, I think Last of Us is gonna take this one, but we'll see. I don't know.
No.
I think
You
it's a
don't think so?
50-50 toss-up between Last of Us and
Absolutely not.
Animal Crossing.
I will be completely surprised if Last of Us wins, because this is the same exact. This is even more of a Red Dead Redemption 2 situation where, yeah, the game is considered to be great and everything, but there is so much like discourse in the community that you have so many people that are like, no, this is not a great game. This is not amazing. Just that whole just the whole stigma around Last of Us Part 2, it has no chance to win, in my opinion. I really think this is coming down to Ghost of Tsushima and Animal Crossing New Horizons, which I don't think Animal Crossing New Horizons is it. I understand why it's there, and I definitely think it is by far the most important game of this year. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, man, just like how special was that release? If you factor that into the game of the year, yeah, awesome. That's definitely far and away the winner. But I think it comes down between Animal Crossing and Ghost of Tsushima. Maybe Final Fantasy VII, and I've seen a lot of love for Hades, but Last of Us Part 2 is absolutely not winning.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Every time you move anywhere on this site, it takes like 10 seconds to load.
I'm not having any issues. I can read them off if you want.
Well, I have it for the video too. What the fuck is going on?
Gotcha.
Hold on. View
Maybe
categories.
try and refresh it. All right.
Best
Next
game
up.
direction. Go ahead, John, because this shit is taking
Okay.
forever.
Okay. Best game direction. You have Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, and The Last of Us Part 2. Now that one, I could definitely see Last of Us Part 2 winning.
I think Half-Life Alyx is going to take this one home. If it can garner enough support, I think it's probably the one because it makes the most sense in my mind as, innovative, creative visions. It just really took VR to the next level and did stuff that games just don't do currently. So I think that one is probably the one that should win. Whether or not it does win, I think that's a different story, but that's probably my pick.
Although, yeah, I can make an argument for any of those games.
Yeah.
All right, let's just keep it rolling.
Yep. Next up is Best Narrative. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. I never even heard of that one. Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and Last of Us Part 2.
I see a running theme here.
Yeah, that's... Next up, Best Art Direction. Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, and Last of Us Part 2. Really happy to see Will of the Wisp in there.
Ori better win that one.
Oh, man, right?
Yeah.
Best Score in Music. Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Hades, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, and Last of Us Part 2. Another shout out to Ori and the Will of the Wisp, although Doom Eternal's also a brilliant soundtrack. Best Audio Design. Doom Eternal, Half-Life Alyx, Ghost of Tsushima, Resident Evil 3 makes a appearance here, and then Last of Us Part 2. Best Performance. Ashley Johnson as Ellie in Last of Us Part 2, Laura Bailey as Abby in Last of Us Part 2, Daisuke Tsuji as Jin Sakai. Sorry.
Sakai. No,
Sakai?
You fucking nailed that. I was shocked, honestly.
In Ghost of Tsushima, Logan Cunningham as Hades in Hades, or Naji Jeter. Did I get that one right?
I think so. That one I'm less familiar with.
As Miles Morales in Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. That one is a toss-up, but I really don't think Abby deserves it. Games for Impact. Now, these are the games that are like thought-provoking with pro-social meaning or message. You got If Found, Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition, Spiritfarer, Tell Me Why, and Through the Darkest of Times. I've only played Spiritfarer and Tell Me Why. I really enjoyed Tell Me Why. I've seen a lot of people give a lot of love to Spiritfarer, so that one might have a good chance at that. But like I said, I haven't even heard of the other three. Best ongoing game, we have Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. Yeah,
I have a gripe with this list.
Sure.
I think No Man's Sky should not be on this list, but instead they should put Halo the Master Chief Collection on this fucking list. I think it is a crime. I think it is a crime that game is not nominated. I don't think it would win this category, but I think it is a crime.
Especially going up against Fortnite.
There should be a new category called Best Comeback.
That would be a great category.
Right? That's like the number. I think future nominees. Anthem. If all right, I can't.
That's not even that's a potential future nominee. You can't even say that's a future nominee.
All right,
I could.
Moving on. Best indie game: Carry On, whatever.
Carrion.
Really good game. Give it a try. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, Hades, Spelunky 2, Spiritfarer. All of those have a really good shot at that. Best mobile game: Among Us, Call of Duty Mobile, Genshin Impact, Legends of Runeterra, Pokemon Cafe Mix. That one's coming down to Genshin Impact or Among Us.
It better be Among Us, man. Those guys deserve
question.
It's gonna be Among Us. But really, how is that even eligible?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Did it just come out on mobile in the past year?
It has to have, because it's not on the indie list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
I have no idea how that's
maybe
eligible.
it just recently came to mobile this year.
That's got to be what it is. Regardless, it's either that or Genshin Impact. Best community support. Which one? Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates. So this might be that comeback area that you were looking for.
Hey.
You got Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, and Valorant.
I'm laughing at
best
the fact,
VR/AR.
I'm laughing that No Man's Sky's on that list. Just because of how fucked the messaging was at the launch.
Absolutely.
It's better, man. It's a good game now.
Best VR/AR. You have Dreams, Half-Life Alyx, Marvel's Iron Man VR. I almost said Spider-Man. Star Wars Squadrons, and The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Half-Life Alyx is going to win that, but Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is a special game. Innovation and accessibility. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Grounded, Hyperdot. Ooh, I didn't even know that was on there. I like that game. Last of Us Part 2 and Watch Dogs Legion. Best action game: Doom Eternal, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, Neo 2, Streets of Rage 4. Best action/adventure: Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, The Last of Us Part 2. That one's a toss-up.
Okay, hold the fuck up. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is on action adventure, but not Game of the Year.
Yep.
What? Sure, whatever.
If you go just by the listing here, it looks like Animal Crossing knocked it off, and they saw that they had too many action adventure games on Game of the Year. I don't know. I have no idea how they picked these. Best role-playing game: Final Fantasy VII Remake, Genshin Impact, Persona 5 Royale. I hate that one's on there. Wasteland 3 or Yakuza Like a Dragon. Best fighting game: Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. Again, I hate that's on there. Street Fighter V Champion Edition. Don't like that. One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows, and a game that nobody wants. Under Night in Birth EXE Late CLR. What the hell?
I really don't like that they can put these.
They really had
editions.
They had nothing to put in the fighting category.
Yeah.
I mean, even for the last one, best role playing, I agree. They should not have been able to put Persona 5 Royale on the fucking list.
Yeah,
that game's been out for years.
Not a fan of that.
Just because they added new DLC, I don't know.
Yeah. Best family: Animal Crossing New Horizons, Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, Minecraft Dungeons, Paper Mario The Origami King. We all know Animal Crossing is going to win that one. Best sim/strategy: Crusader Kings 3, Desperados 3, Gears Tactics, Microsoft Flight Simulator, XCOM Chimera Squad. Best sports/racing: Dirt 5, F1 2020, FIFA 21, NBA 2K21, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Hopefully that one wins it. Best multiplayer game. Okay, so we have Animal Crossing New Horizons, Among Us again, which shouldn't be in there. Call of Duty Warzone, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, and Valorant. Content Creator of the Year: Alana Pierce. Shout out to her. She is awesome. J. Ann Lopez, Nick Merckx, Tim the Tatman, and Valkyrie. Best debut game: Carrion, Mortal Shell, Raji and Ancient Epic, Roki, Phasmophobia. Best esports athlete. Okay, let's skip the esports stuff. Best esports game, we'll do that one. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Fortnite, League of Legends, Valorant. And yeah, that will be it. The rest is just esports stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's the same categories essentially as every other year.
Yeah.
So
people and things.
Yeah, some of these nominations though, they fucking blow.
That they should have just taken the fighting game category out of there. Like
yeah.
a vast majority of them are
There are a lot of great fighting games that did release this year in the underground scene. Like Under Night In-Birth is actually a fantastic fighting game that I've gotten into.
What about
a
your
bit.
fucking Brony game?
Hey, now we're talking.
Game.
See, put
Them's fighting hurts. That's
put
what
some
it is, right?
respect on its name. Yeah, so I think there are other games that could absolutely be on here, but these like fucking re-releases and Ultimate Editions, absolutely not. There's no way these should have been nominated. They should have been ineligible. It should be from date of original
Didn't Mortal
release.
Kombat 11 win that last year?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It did win last year.
Really?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Just for that,
The Ultimate Edition?
just for that, I hope it wins this year.
Absolutely not. I'm fucking
No.
pissed. Normally,
Yeah.
I am absolutely and totally on Jeff Keighley's side for anything he does, but not this. This is a travesty. This is bullshit, and I refuse to stand for it, and I will do nothing in
When
my
did
power
Street
to do
Fighter
anything about
5
it.
actually release?
Like
Like
2015.
that has been out forever.
2015, 2014, somewhere around there. Yeah.
It's been out a long
Let's see, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't believe that's on there.
But yeah, I think,
nominations are bad.
I think that kind of sums up episode 120 of the Pixel Street podcast. As always, follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street. That's where you can see when our podcast goes live. You'll check out our YouTube links on there. Check out our pinned tweet to join our Discord channel. Also check out our YouTube because we need them 100 subscribers to get the custom URL so that we don't have to speak gibberish to you to say the URL. But yeah, follow us there at Pixel Street Videos. Subscribe there. Watch our unboxing videos we did last week. It's along with our first impression videos that we mentioned here many times. Many times. You can find me on Twitter at Campo63, twitch.tv/Campo63. And check out my fleets because they are awesome. John, I posted a fleet on the Pixel Street Twitter account so that you can see what a fleet is. John, where are you on the internet?
You just had to tell me what it is, and I know what it is.
Oh, no, I posted one.
Okay. On Twitter, I am at Revix Shadows, and you can check out my writing on GamePer. Done a ton of next-gen articles, just a lot of guides and everything going into Astro's Playroom, the Xbox Series X, and PlayStation 5. Really going to be hitting Call of Duty here in a sec, picking up what hasn't already been covered. So be sure to follow me for that.
All right. And Connor, in your last week as a GameStop employee, I hope you know that next week we're really expecting all the secrets that you have. We know you have a lot of GameStop secrets. We're expecting all of them in next week's deep dive expose. It's
going to be a tell-all. I'm gonna reveal
tell-all.
things that you wouldn't even dream of. That copy of Grand Theft Auto, it's in stock. We've got it. Always. It's always there.
Oh, absolutely. I've been there. You're just being an asshole, and I don't want to give it to you.
But yeah, where can people find you on the internet as you say goodbye to GameStop?
Yeah, the good people can find me on Twitter at TheRealBirch. I'm also on Twitch under the same name. It's Birch, like the tree without the I, BRCH. Love to have you. Come hang out. I'm going to be unemployed soon. That's real exciting. So a lot of free time to do nothing but yell about my PlayStation 5. So if that's something you're interested in, come follow me. Love to have you.
Oh, Pixel Street Pal Party Night this Saturday. Rocket League. Come join.
Rocket League.
Jump in the Discord and play with us.
Jump in the Discord to find out more info about that and all future Pixel Pal Party Nights. John usually puts a poll up there to find out, kind of gauge what games people want to play. So, yeah, definitely join the Discord to play games with us. But
Absolutely.
Yeah, that does it for episode 120. We will be right back here next week for episode 121.
Bye.
See you later, Gator.